All right. Did you catch on to how we do the intro when you watched the Reeves episode?
I watched it, but I didn't catch on to remember it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we expect you to sync up flawlessly with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Anything less is completely unacceptable.
So it's title of the show, mission statement, like, follow, subscribe.
Yep.
Right?
Ready? Welcome to the 𝗙𝗶𝗁𝗵 Preach, the Dad Podcast, episode 23.
Dads talking to dads,
Learning to be better dads and laughing about it.
Yes. So
So make sure to
follow, subscribe, go to your YouTube channel, be our 188th subscriber.
Yeah, man.
We're getting there. It's progress.
I think you nailed it.
Yeah.
With that like.
There it is.
That really tied it together.
Yeah.
Good.
Hey, one word.
Okay, so I'm very excited about today's episode. We're here with Adam Richardson. I want to preface this. We are a dad podcast, not a Christian podcast. We happen to be Christians, but Adam is a Christian pastor. So obviously this episode is going to talk about how that affects your parenting as a dad.
Mm-hmm.
So I also want to say, dads of any faith, anywhere, we would love to hear how your faith applies to your parenting and your dadding, as we like to put it.
Yep.
So,
yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Just because you're a Christian, you're still human, and there's a lot of humanity to be shared.
Yes.
Yeah, we need you on here because we need a cleansing for some of the episodes we prior.
You got to wait for the next guy, I think, for that.
Yeah, don't watch the last episode. Not the one that airs now. The one that airs next week. No.
All good.
Yes. No.
No worries. No worries.
That one went sideways.
It's all good.
So yeah, we start with this week in dadding.
Yeah.
We never really planned who's going to go first.
Nope.
Do you have any?
Now, you guys, remind me how old your kids are, your ages.
2, 7, 8, and 12.
Gotcha.
3 and almost born.
See, that's perfect. That's perfect. Because I'm on kind of the slightly other end of it. I've got kids who are 21, 20, and 16. So
21, 20, 16.
And it is a wild ride. And
I'm sure.
Yeah. And I will say this for you guys here in the room and out there, I have loved every season of parenting more. And,
yes.
And so, I mean, I thought something was wrong with me early on because I was like, I'm not connecting to this child. And they're like, oh, just wait till they grow up a little bit. And I'm like, I'm still not. Eventually, I got my traction. And I just realized I just love watching them grow up and becoming their own people. Right.
Yeah.
And so for all you guys in the slug, in the trench, with the young ones, just keep the feet pumping because I personally think it just got better and better.
I've seen that even in the 3 years with Amelia. Yeah. The adoration just grows every day. Yep. The things you're proud of. Amelia's got come up with the joke that she likes to say all the time, and it cracks her up. And tell me if you've heard this one. Poopy.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Have you heard that one yet?
I have.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's familiar.
There's no setting where that's inappropriate, apparently, and it's always hilarious.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. I love the simple joys of the early years, really. I mean, because I remember when, we would be at the table and, Paul, you're 3. Would you like to say the blessing? Yes, I would. Okay. God, give us more than anybody else. Amen. And I'm like, okay, where did that come, or praying, God, please hold them in your hands, but don't smush them because they're little, and there's some cute things they say when they're little, and that's fun and that's sweet and that's awesome. But it's really cool when they grow up and they do things like engine swap their car, right? I mean, and you get to see them do real big boy things, do hard things. Yeah. So, and it's really fun to watch them come into their own and do things you can't do,
My kids struggled to underwear swap on their own.
Yeah. See, I mean, like I said,
repetition day after day after day.
It gets better.
Your kids, Adam, they're, is it son, daughter?
Yeah. So boy, girl, 2 in college and a high school girl. And, they've really come into their own. They're all very different, thought about the DNA testing because they're like, are they really all our children? But no, yes, they are. And it's incredible how they really just find their own way. And so that's been fun to see them do their own thing.
Nice. So what's happening this week? So Are both your college kids away at college?
Yes,
Or
yes, they're both away. Got an engineer up at Clemson,
Ooh.
and my second born is a pilot. He's at Middle Tennessee State, and so he's doing that. He got his pilot license in high school, and so he's doing that.
Is that Antioch, Tennessee?
Yeah, it is just south. It's Murfreesboro.
Oh
Yep.
I lived in Nashville. I actually lived in Antioch.
So I actually went to school in Nashville. So,
okay.
Nice. Great area.
Yeah.
So
not the traffic.
No.
Everything but
live on
the traffic.
campus. Yeah.
Long Island.
Live on campus.
Yeah. Long Island.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, I've never seen worse traffic than Eastern Long Island.
Yeah.
I believe that.
But so you've got
Florence.
an engineer and a pilot.
Yep.
And there might be something we can learn from you.
Is our artist, yeah. And you know, and it's really fun that, like I said, they come into their own and did some hard things. Man, I do want to make some disclaimers though, right off the bat, because in case
wrong with them?
In case my wife watches this and what is he saying? First of all, no parent is an expert, right? This is super hard for everybody, and no matter how awesome you do this, you cannot guarantee results. And
Nope.
Yeah.
So I do want to disclaim that. And the other thing is some things that I'm going to say, it's going to sound like, man, he's got something together. No, I do not. All this is really, it's hit and miss. It is hit and miss.
Yeah.
So I'm going to compact, 20 years into a few minutes. It's going to sound good, but it really is just as messy as everywhere and everything else in life.
We can definitely learn from mistakes as well as successes.
Oh yeah,
usually
I got
learn
lots
more.
of that.
Yeah, that's something we talked about on the episode that aired today. Just where we want our kids to be comfortable making mistakes.
Yeah.
Not defeated by them.
And honestly, I think one of my greatest parenting moments came out of one of my own mistakes, actually. And I'll start with this. And I remember going into my kind of having something out with my kid, and we were fighting and yelling this and that, and did not go well. Storm up the stairs, slam the door, and I'm sitting at my desk thinking, well, when are they going to repent? And so my wife kind of comes in and just says, basically, play the man. You take the first step, right? And she was right. So I went up there and I knocked on the door, and it was one of my sons, and he yelled out, "What?" And and I said, I want to talk. And I said, and there's silence. And I said, I want to apologize. Silence. Door creaks open. And I just looked him in the eye and said, I just want you to know I'm so sorry about what just happened. That was wrong. I stepped over the line, and would you forgive me for that? And in that moment, it's like just everything, just all the frustration, all the anger, all the yuck just drained out of the room.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's like a brand new game. And to see just the power of humility, of setting ego aside and seeing this person not as your kid, but a human.
Yeah.
And it was just really a powerful moment that I realized, okay, even in the dark moments, amazing things can happen.
Yeah.
And so that was a huge lesson for me.
It's crazy with kids being as young as they are. They understand like genuine concern for them and genuine empathy.
Yeah.
So when you know that you cross the line, you're kind of helping teach them like how to empathize with other people, because I feel like I struggle a lot with that. Like I'll be like on them like this, but I'm never like really down to their levels. I mean, I'm doing it more now than I have before, but I had like really poor patience.
Yeah.
And I would run into that, but I'm finding it easier and easier the older they get to let go of my ego and just apologize. Because it's not that hard. It's good for them. I
mean, and honestly, the art of a genuine, sincere, clear, concise, real apology is a great gift to give a child. And you can't, it's not a lecture. You model it.
Yeah.
You do it first.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
how old was your son when that happened?
15.
15?
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, in recovery, that's one of the big things they teach too, is just apologizing to clear your side of the street.
Yeah.
Even if you feel like you're right.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Even if you're 98% right, I got 2% in the game. And I'm bringing that. I'm bringing that to the table.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, because it's not like you're ever 100% right. If it's an argument, you're definitely at least 2% wrong.
I think that's fair.
I'd say.
And so
I think that's gracious.
Yeah.
yeah.
And by the way, flag it up. Kudos to my wife for not bringing the fire, right? For just kind of poking the bear a little, like, hey, we can do better than this. So, and that helped a lot too. The kind of the gentle hand, right? To start to move the needle. So that was a good start. And that's just one story, but there are so many of those in which something beautiful came out of something difficult, hard, dark, and that rhythm. You're gonna have those rhythms. Things go well, things go bad. It's just the way life is.
Yeah.
And so learning to recover from those moments is really not only okay. I mean, it is vital for kids to realize you can.
Yeah. Model it.
And I can tell you in marriages, for example, there's bad couples don't fight, because good couples fight clean. You've got to fight. You've got to have some conflict, some healthy conflict to there's good
grow
honest.
from. Yeah.
Yeah. If otherwise you're hiding it. Ain't nothing about living together in
absolutely.
proximity that's transparent. That's going to just be like squeaky clean and easy. Right. And so just to model how to mix it up, be honest, transparent, humble, and do your part to listen and honor that other person. That is a great gift to give a kid.
Yep.
And it starts when they're young. And I see the chocolate on your face. I know you did it, and then when they get older, you have different examples. But
I get caught with that too.
That's how it goes. Yeah, for sure.
So you know what it makes me question that comes to mind is, all right, so your son was 15 then.
Yeah.
Now I have a 3-year-old, so there's still conflicts. There's still teaching and guiding. But
That's right.
do you remember like that first time you realized like I'm not talking to a little kid anymore?
It is so gradual. It's hard to know.
Yeah.
But I do know this. I do have early memories of realizing that your 3-year-old is old enough to offend for you to offend them.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say they're definitely old enough to offend.
Oh,
My
yeah.
2-year-old offends me all the time.
Yeah, and we them, and
Oh, yeah.
your 3-year-old is old enough to receive an apology, right?
Yeah.
And to give an
I do
apology.
apologize for things. Yeah. I want to teach her from a very early age that mommies and daddies make mistakes too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can still, you're still the parent, but parents mess up, right?
Yeah.
So it's okay. That's really good.
Yeah. I swept out her legs just a little too aggressively on the
Right.
bed.
Yeah.
Yes.
She loved it until that
Yes.
exact moment.
Oh, exactly. Yes. It was going awesome until it wasn't. That's right.
Until the end table got in the way.
No,
Yes.
she's got a big girl bed now. It's a full size bed,
Man.
and she loves jumping on it. And then all the rock bottoms.
Does she sing
suplexes.
the 5 monkeys jumping on the bed song while doing it?
No, we're currently into 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝗏𝗵𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗃 Humpty Bump.
Yeah.
right.
Of course you are.
Okay.
Yeah,
She loves
that direction.
Raising
Hump,
her right.
did bump,
Raising her
nobody's
right.
hump.
That's it. Yeah.
So she loves that. She loves the Beastie Boys, and she loves Oasis. I
I don't
can
know where she gets
almost-
all of that from.
cry tears of joy right now. I am so proud.
And the Yankees.
Yes, and she
Goes
does.
without saying.
She does think every baseball team's the Yankees, though. But we're working.
They're about to win the World Series then.
Yeah. You know what happened this week that made me feel like I'm doing something right? She was playing with her Barbies. She had 3 of them, and she was like, "These 2 are in school," and she goes, "And this one's exercising."
Okay. See,
That's what she sees adults do.
it is working. It is working.
Like that.
The modeling
Yeah,
is
that
working.
really made me feel
The
good.
modeling is working.
Yeah.
So one thing about modeling is as a parent to intentionality. One thing about my Christian faith that really impacts my parenting is the why. So I'm curious in you guys. Why do you think? A lot of people think, how can I parent? How can I be a dad? How can I be a better dad? But honestly, that's like asking, like that's the end of the story. The why is the beginning. So my kids will come to me and they'll say, "Hey man, Dad, I need some tape," and I'll say, "Why do you need tape?" The question, because and they'll say, "Dad, don't get all philosophical. Why? Just give me some tape." I'm like, "Well, do you need plumber's tape for a leak in the thing, or do you need duct tape because you want to make a wallet? Do you need paper tape to hang a poster? I mean, there's so many kinds of tape depending on what you want to do. And I mean, it's amazing that our pilgrims got anywhere without duct tape, right? I mean, so there's things. It depends. Like the reason you need the tape is the main thing that you. So I'm just curious, you guys, like for people who want to be parents, want to be dads, why do they do that? And that's, to me, the biggest question is not how do you dad, but it's why do you dad? And so I was just curious if y'all had any thoughts on what people think when they think, why do I want to be a dad?
I mean, I think your natural tendency as a man is to lead, right?
Mhm.
So I feel like a lot of people feel called to lead. So whether that's your family or a worship group or anything in between that, I mean, honestly, I think that's the typical reason why somebody feels like, I mean, carrying on the name is
Sure.
an easy one too,
Right.
but
Yeah.
why do dads want to become dads? I feel like it's just like a clock, right? If you're not providing anything to society and providing more population with
Yeah.
your last name and your blood, like what have you done with your life when you get to the end of it?
Yeah. Yeah. I used to live in Russia, and the Russians had a phrase. They said that every man should.
More vodka.
Yeah, more vodka. That's right. The vodka aisle, and it looks like the cereal
I'm sure
aisle
it's
here.
nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy. But should do three things. He should raise a child, build a house, and plant a tree.
So when you asked the question, the first thing that came to mind for me was thinking about like my biological father, my stepfather, the relationships I had with them, my uncles on the Langan side, my uncle Emilio, who's coming on Friday for a couple of days, going to meet my wife and daughter for the first time.
Wow.
And growing up, I wanted to be like them, but I related it to the relationship I had as a kid looking at them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to me, that meant being that person to another kid.
Exactly. And I think that's a really, really overlooked in a nutshell. The language we would say for that is honoring your parents, honoring your father. It's like,
I meant, that was my answer too.
That one. Yes.
you want to honor the sacrifices they made for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually pay that forward to the next generation.
Pay it forward,
Because there's I think when people use the word legacy, they typically think about money or estate or something like that. But honestly, it's our lives. We are the legacy of the generation that went before us.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we are also creating a legacy for the future of the world, right? And a next generation legacy. And we were, it's not a material legacy, but a living legacy.
Yeah.
And there's a way in which we pass on our lives, our values, and so forth. Not only because it's fun, it's interesting, and it makes great photographs at Christmas time on the fridge, but it actually honors the sacrifices of the people who did it for us before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit on that, on my journey to becoming a parent too.
Yeah.
Because I did always want to be a dad. And then I reached an age where I just figured it wasn't going to be happening. I'd passed 35.
Yeah, right.
I wasn't in a serious relationship. And then I kind of got comfortable saying, that's all right. I kind of don't want to have kids this late.
Right.
And you might have even said this to me at one point, that when it's the right woman, you're going to want to have a kid with her. But
That's
so
right.
many people said it to me.
Right.
And I remember looking at my wife one day and just like, I was looking at her in my head. I just went, son of a bitch, I want to have a kid with her.
Yes.
Like just like that. And
Yeah.
like I said it to her, I'm like, I want to have a baby with you.
Yeah. I want to raise a child. I want to be a family.
Yeah.
And I want us to create a legacy that we leave behind,
Yeah.
I mean, that's where we were. Sam, I already had one prior to my wife, and Sam had two.
Yeah.
And so it's like, man, this is like, if we do this, it's going to be a lot. But it's just that we met. I mean, I wanted to make a human being with this person, and I didn't want to just like be nothing but stepdad. Like I wanted to.
Yeah.
And there's
I'm
something
so
about-
happy that we did.
I mean, we all know that in a marriage that there's a oneness, there's a unity there, but there is like a literal physical result of that unity that emerges from that.
Right.
That literally embodies the relationship.
I think my point was how much she was a factor
Yeah.
in it too. Just
Yeah.
like looking at her.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and then to talk, you don't know much on Jake, and I really try not to compliment him too much. So I'm good. I'm out of character.
Thank you. Thank you.
But just to a moment of like just honest respect for him.
Hold on, keep the bar low.
Sam's first two kids, their father had passed in an accident.
Nope, just one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that they were.
No.
Oh, okay.
Bryce's dad in the picture, but her youngest daughter,
JoJo.
She was married before, and he passed away.
Well,
when she was 3.
Wow.
As somebody who has a really, really great stepfather who's been there since my earliest memory, and no matter how off the rails I got, and took it out on him, when I got my life together, was nothing but a great dad. There's a level of respect that I don't talk about enough for Jake. I probably won't bring it up for 20, 30 more episodes.
No, that's fine.
right.
20, I'll look forward on episode 46.
I'm not comfortable with
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
at all. But it's, so.
But that's huge, because that's, to say, I want to make a home with you and I want to raise our kids, and to together with you, we have a relationship, but the part of the fruit of that relationship is passing on our life to the kids in our home and raising them up to love those traditions and memories and whatnot. And to take that on together is a huge and a beautiful and an incredible thing. We were talking about, earlier on the life from death. What I love about Christianity is that the core of Christianity is literally the story of life out of death, right? We have Good Friday and the crucifixion, and then Easter Sunday, the renewed resurrection life. And so this whole idea of life out of death is not, and it's not just something that happened then, it's happening now. Like to think about the life and the fruit and the beauty and the great living health and life that has come out of saying, some really dark circumstances. That's the literally the definition of redemption. And ever since Genesis 3, when Adam and Eve went rogue on God and God's own children, as it were, rebelled against him, the history of the world has been a story of redemption. And that I think is a beautiful picture of it.
Yeah. And that's kind of my This Week in Dadding too, is that we've kind of been dealing with the repercussions of my daughter, starting to remember that side of the family and like getting the opportunity to see her. I mean, she had brothers as well.
Yeah.
So it's
messy.
It's been, and I mean, she's not really like allowed to see them super often, but we have been able to see them more frequently, which is good for her. But she's been dealing with getting to that age where she's really starting to ask questions about, she's 8. So she's really wondering, how would my life have been, kind of. She's not like taking for granted like what she has. She's really in that inquisitive stage of wondering what would have been. So for the first time in probably, I don't know, I've been in their lives for 5 years now. For the first time in those 5 years that I can remember, she called me stepdad, not dad. And it like shook me to my core. And it wasn't anything like that she was doing intentionally. She just was talking to one of her friends and we were carving pumpkins out there and it just came out. And I was just like, but I have to like learn that I can't get, I mean, it hurts.
Right.
Because it's like a reminder that, that's not my biological child.
Yeah.
But I don't want her to feel like that.
No, but it hurts because of what she means to you. Not
Correct.
that not because she's not. Because
Correct.
You don't see that.
Right.
And
I don't at all.
Yeah.
And what an incredible moment for you to be in this place of leadership, helping guide her through these realizations. Like she's adding layers of complexity to her understanding of reality, of life.
Trying to lead.
Yeah. And she, I mean, these are real big boy things to deal with. And you are in like the driver's seat to help guide her through processing real losses, because I think that the natural tendency for guys is just sweep it under the carpet. You're fine, bootstraps, do your homework, move on, but what happens is you sweep enough stuff under the rug, it doesn't go away. It creates a mound and then you trip on it, right? Eventually. And it comes back. I
love that metaphor. And it's such an accurate metaphor.
Yeah. So it doesn't go away. So thinking through, okay, we're having to now begin to deal with the layers of the complexity here, and we're going to be on this journey together. Yeah. And we're going to be honest about it. We're going to be sincere about it. We're going to do this together, and I'll answer your questions, and we'll figure this out. But to deal with it is a huge honor, honestly, and takes a lot of courage on your part to jump into that. So, but that to me is the definition of what fathers do. And there's a definition we use of love that says it is the steadfast sacrificial zeal that seeks the true good of another. The steadfast sacrificial zeal that seeks the true good of another. And so that's what you're doing. You're saying, I'm gonna walk this out for as long as we both shall live. Mm-hmm. That's the steadfast part. Sacrificial is I'm gonna lay down my ego and we're gonna do this together and figure out what you need, not what I need.
Yeah.
And it's zeal for your true good, not what I wish it would be, not what the story I want to tell, the story that's true. Let's deal with it and trust that the honest pursuit of who you're becoming is going to be better than just ignoring it or denying it or whatever other ways that we unfortunately negatively deal with our grief.
Yeah.
But teaching them how to grieve well their losses is a part of the healing process. So
Yeah,
way to
it's hard not to just like be a constant reminder. I mean, I feel like every time she sees me, I'm a constant reminder. So it's hard to like instill in her, like anything that I say is always taken with like let me go check with mom first. And only because I feel like she's like I said, she's just at that stage. I mean, she's become a lot more emotional about it in the last probably 5 months, enough to where me and my wife have had to talk like, do we need to.
And that's good to keep the
outside.
lines of communication with your wife open because obviously one of the big things about dadding is playing the long game.
Yes.
She related to it nada at 3, right? She's beginning to really get into it at 8. There's going to be a different way to relate at 12 and 18 and 30. So, I mean, that's the beautiful thing is we're playing the long game and just not to get riled up or ruffled.
Right.
For your peace of mind, Amelia checks with my wife on everything I say to her.
Well, I mean, I know that.
You're not alone.
I literally said to her the other day, "Don't tell my boss to me."
I will say this. I'm grateful to have this happen, but I feel like I'm the checker for Harper. Harper will check with me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So that's pretty cool.
I think
I win one time.
Yeah.
I also think there needs to be like, there's going to be an arch of maturity. God, I matured late, I state of arrested development between alcohol and drugs. And when I got sober, I reached a level of maturity.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
It is. Okay. Continue.
But that is a great show. But when I came out of that, the appreciation I had for my stepdad, I used to blame him for so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it won't be as hard as a journey for you.
Yeah.
But there's
I know
a
the day
great
will
landing spot.
I know the day will come because she's going to realize one day, this is not an ego thing. It's just from her perspective. I'm hopeful and I'm confident that she's going to realize one day that I didn't have to be here.
Yeah.
I didn't have to step in. I didn't have to want to be dad.
Mm-hmm.
I could have just married her mom and been like, you know what, you figure it out. But I've always tried to look out for her and I've tried to like make sure she knows that I don't look at her as stepdaughter.
Right.
She's my daughter. I understand. And I want her to remember her dad, but I don't ever want her to think that I don't see her as only my daughter.
I'm sure there's a lot of, especially in the early stages of wrestling with it, there's a lot of confusing, emotions and thoughts.
Right.
And, again, long game, because that takes time to sort out. It's a process.
It's
event.
It's just that we're in that battle.
Messy middle, man.
But it's, I'm not mad about it because at least I feel like she hasn't been able to address it to herself, which means it's been, mentally just bouncing around in there. And now it's finally starting to set in like, uh-oh. And now she wants to do something about it and actually talk about it, which is good because she needs to. And I'm glad that, me and my wife are really good about sitting down and like explaining stuff to her and she's not the greatest at listening at the moment, but she'll understand it, soon that we're not harping on her. We're not picking on her. We're just telling her the truth. And the truth hurts and sucks sometimes, but
for me, one of the kind of the guiding principles of being a dad and really being a parent, there's a proverb, Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. It says, "Train up a child in the way they should go, and when they're old, they'll not depart from it." Train up a child in the way they should go. When they're old, they'll not depart from it. Now, at first glance, that kind of sounds like, like 𝗙𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵, like stuff. It's just like, yeah, of course, yeah. Train up, like they make them do right, And yeah, exactly. Miyagi, whatever.
I take a lot of tips from 𝗙𝗵𝗵𝗵.
Don't knock it, right?
Don't discredit it.
Yeah. And it sounds obvious, train them up in the way they should go, which you think of kind of being the generic road of being a good person. And then when they're old, they won't depart from it, which you obviously know is not true because many people depart from that way.
Yeah.
But like Proverbs tend to do, it has a really actually profound meaning, a deeper meaning. And because if you dig into a little bit of the original of that word, when it says train up a child, it's a horticulture concept of, it's not just train up, but it's like raise up a child according to their bent. And when they're old, according to their bent.
What does that mean?
So here you go. So like when you got a plant, and you're working with a plant, you can make the plant do stuff, but the main thing you're doing about this plant is trying to understand, what is this plant trying to do? How is this plant trying to grow? And you work with the plant to make it become the best plant that it can be, that it's meant to be. Not where you want it to look like. You don't, but what the direction that the plant's wanting to grow. So the proverb is saying, train up a child not in the way they should go, but in the way they should go. And when they're old, they'll not depart from it. In other words, if you as a dad, your goal is to understand, is to have vision, to see this kid. Who has God made this kid? And because we have the belief that God doesn't just drop kids off like, it's not roulette, random kid. Like, I have the belief that God gave our kids to our family specifically. And that it is my job as a dad to understand and develop those kids in the way they should each go.
So they're not just a blank canvas that you're painting.
No, God said, I'm giving these three to this family, and I know their strengths, I know their weaknesses. Me and Heather, our parent, and and I will use these kids to bless and sanctify, to challenge them, grow them. But also, I'm going to use those strengths and weaknesses to grow these three kids in the way they should go. And so as
God really loves me repeating myself, I'll say that. So
yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Train them up.
Oh.
And so that's and so to understand, and at this point you're trying to understand, okay, who's God made this young girl, right? And she'll understand that eventually that he was helping me become the best version of me that I can become. Yeah. And so, each kid is so different. That's the goal.
I'm really happy too, because did I already say this? But she got baptized this previous Sunday, and it was just like watching the joy on her face. Yeah. Like we finally felt like we feel plugged into a church that we've been going to. Like I started playing in the worship band, and it just seeing that gives me a lot of hope. Just knowing that was one thing that we struggled with for the past 5 years, was to find somewhere that we felt like was home and was positive. I talked about that on the episode with my stepdad, was that it's hard to find positivity in the world. And I feel like there isn't a soul in that place that wants anything but positive things for my kids. That's awesome. And that's what I'm so excited to see them like come out of, except for Harper. Sometimes when she gets there, she's like, I don't want to go to church, but she doesn't like us leaving.
The 2-year-old?
Yeah, she doesn't like us leaving. She loves us. She just doesn't want us to leave.
No, it's too late for her.
No. She like settles down pretty quick, but it's like every time she's recognizing where we're at, and she's like, no. I'm like, no, wait a minute. Just close your eyes for a second.
That's it.
We talked about some really cool things, and there was something that you brought up that I kind of wanted to jump back to, because it made me think of one. You were talking about the redemption or the rebirth that comes from darkness, the tragedy. And I've had this conversation a couple of times with people about like why God lets terrible things happen in the world. Yeah. And I've noticed you see the absolute best come out of the people around that tragedy. Yeah. Like the how good human beings can be. Yeah. And it might be a tough example to have to show that. Yeah. But like, as you were like helping him become the best that he can be. Yeah. Like the example that he's become based off this tragedy and the way that that's played into his life. Right. I mean, I've got a friend whose kid is fully disabled. Yeah. He might, I've talked to him about this. I don't know if he sees it the way I do, but when I look at the dad that he is, like the beauty I see in that. Yeah. And just the love and compassion taking care of this child who's now 9. It's hard to even say it, because it's like this kid's still going through that, but it's like, then look at the beauty around him and like what human beings can be.
Absolutely.
Like I wouldn't have 3 of my kids or my wife if something terrible didn't happen. Yeah. And that's like,
but look what it's brought out of you.
I know it's a guilty feeling, but it has made me like,
I feel guilty saying that about my friend. Like I do. Yeah. Talking about,
I'm proud that I have been able to help my family become happy. Yeah. And absolutely. in a really, really rough time. Yeah. And so it's like, there's like a constant guilt that like, oh, I shouldn't be the one, Eric should be here and he should be raising these kids. And I like, it breaks my heart thinking about it, because I don't want my daughter to not have her dad, but I also wouldn't know my family if that didn't happen. I wouldn't have a family.
The beautiful thing is you didn't decide that. God did.
Right.
So that was above your pay grade.
Right.
And so all you did was you came into the situation as it was. And so I do appreciate that God often doesn't give us those choices. So I grew up in a broken home. My dad left our family. He had 3 families, and it's a really crazy and broken story. And so with all due respect to my dad and for some of the good things that he did, there was a lot of negative in there. Yeah. And so I had this situation where I had some great day with my son. My older son was heading towards his college graduation. It was spring of his senior year. So we were trying to spend as much time together as possible. We had some Norman Rockwell, awesome day together. We're up in his room. And at the end of the day, high-fiving, kind of gave a big hug, and I walked out of his room. And at this very moment when I should have been on this peak, all of a sudden I was just flooded with sadness. And I didn't even know why. It just flooded over me. And I was thinking, what is wrong with me? And I just could not get out of the dumps for like a week. And I'm just praying, God, what is wrong with me? I thought I got a great relationship with my kid, my wife. I've got a happy life. And I kind of peeled back some of the layers of the grief. Like, okay, so Lord, let's just deal with this. Let's work through this. And I think it kind of dawned on me at one point through the prayers that I was experiencing this good relationship, father to son, for the first time, and it should have been the second time.
Oh.
And I was becoming aware. I had not known as a kid how much I lost when my dad left until I had a great time with my senior son. And I realized it could have been like that. I could have had dad like that. And I became aware more and more of the loss by experiencing it from the standpoint of a dad.
Yeah.
And so it was a new time to grieve what I had lost, because I was unaware of it until I experienced it as a dad. And so all of a sudden I had to deal now with this grief and kind of a renewed sense of anger and frustration that I hadn't had that before.
But at the same time, I would think that would make you feel proud that you didn't let that define you.
Precisely. And the idea of life out of death, right?
Everything's so complicated, man.
Yeah.
Everything.
Life out of death, right? And I realized one of the reasons that I did that, and on a much smaller scale, I remember I used to sit my kids down when they were little. I actually have an example here. I made them pay taxes every year. And I worked out a form. And I had a tax form because my dad taught me nothing about money, and I had to figure out everything for myself, which was super hard. So I said, I'm going to teach my kids about money. So I sat down and made them pay taxes. And what we did was whole form, list all their allowance, list all their expenses, list all their and I made them have 4 envelopes. They had savings, and they had to save at 10% on everything they got. They had taxes that they put away at 10%. They had giving. I made them give 10%, and then they could live on 70, right? They had a spending envelope. So when we did the taxes, we get out all the envelopes and we fill out the form. And I actually, this is where it becomes very unreal, right? I taxed them at 5%, but I did that on purpose because I made them withhold at 10. And so they only taxed them at 5. And so every time we did taxes, they got a refund. And so I trained them to actually love doing taxes. And so every January it was a party. They're like, we get to do taxes, And when my son got to be about 7, he said, Dad, what is the government? And I took the money that I taxed him with. I kept it. And they said, Dad, what does the government do with the money that? And I said, well, the government has a lot of expenses. And he says, doesn't the government help do things around here? And I was like, yeah. And he's
no, they do not.
Yeah. In his house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's.
Your government.
He says,
we're talking about your government.
Do you think the government could invest in a basketball court outside of our house? Because it would be great for the kids in our house to be a part of that. So
how proud were you in that moment?
I know. See what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
A, he loves taxes. And then B, he wants to get the government to build some community,
a
basketball court, a park, yeah.
Park, some recreation
And
department.
he's 7, right? He's 7. And so I just realized
7.
I never would have done that. Yeah, I got the form. I never would have done that if I hadn't fought for every bit of, knowledge about money as a 30-year-old.
Yeah.
If I hadn't made all the mistakes and had to, and so I felt like this is a lot of the life out of death. And I'm like, you guys don't realize how you are benefiting at the life that's come out of that. And there's so many of those examples in the stories.
All right. So you have a a couple things you wanted to bring up that are important, you believe?
So, I mean, for what it's worth.
Top 10 list?
Yeah, top 10. All right.
Oh, I love lists.
Here we go. Number 10, an identity that's rooted in truth. I think the kids today are told you can be anything and you can do anything true. That's great. But if you can wake up one day and be a man, be a woman, be a monkey, be whatever you want to be, like every day you literally are redefining yourself, that's not freeing for kids. That's paralyzing.
Yeah.
They need to know that they were born as a human, as a man or a woman, as a Richardson, and these roots matter. Now they can make that go anywhere. Now, raise it. What is in there? There's a uniqueness to you that is only yours, but it's not the whole thing. You have some roots that matter, and we're going to affirm that identity to give you somewhere to start. That is important, and that is given to them. They don't create it; it is given to them.
Amelia's a princess.
There you go. See,
She says it every
Harper's
day.
a dinosaur.
well, there you go.
Oh.
Identity is created. Yes. So that's the number 10. Number 9, they need an example. And I think if y'all hear nothing else, the main gift dads can give to their kids, the main gift, this one thing will be worth the podcast, is to love their mother. Love their mother. That is the greatest gift you can do. It. Love their mother publicly. Honor her. Cherish her. Dance with her in the kitchen. Get funky with her. Kiss her on the back of the neck. Do the dishes. Love her in ways that are public and are understood. Okay,
Hold on. Hold on.
Just threw that in there. No.
Yeah, and love their mother is the best thing you can do as a dad for their kids. That's number 9.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. And I think we're very aware of that in our house. Mommy and daddy love each other.
Yeah, you and I have talked about that a bunch.
Yeah, we love each other too.
Good. Yeah.
Not that. No, that's a big one for me. Is that if you grow up in a household and your parents don't love each other and you have no idea what love truly looks like, you're gonna grow up blind.
Or you're wondering if they do or what it looks like.
You grow up blind.
Yeah. So
I did not have that issue. My parents have been happily married for.
I have the aspiration for my
years.
kids to want my marriage. That's what I want. And I think that is a great gift to give them, is the gift of a marriage they aspire to.
If mom and dad are fighting, what do the kids want more than anything?
That's right. Peace.
Yeah.
Peace. That's what
they want to know their parents are okay.
Yeah.
They want to know their parents are getting along.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. So that's number, what was that? Number 9.
Not Harper. She'll come up. She'll be like, "Wanna fight?"
Jumping in. Number 8, time. I think the myth of quality time over quantity time. Quality time is the accident that happens during quantity time. You can't book quality time. All right. It is the accident that happens in quantity time. There's just no other way. So you can try all you want. Like, we're going to have this super special thing in these 10 minutes. Go for it. You do that. But I promise you, it's going to happen at the weirdest times, and you never even think in your own heart, like the memories that you have that are the best, or the kids' memories that they're going to stick out to them, are not going to be the ones that you like thunk up. It's going to be that accident that happened in that moment when we were in the store and this happened and whatever.
Just be around them.
Yeah, I brought up an example. I don't even remember what I said, but when my dad was here, and he was just like, "Really?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't remember what you said either, but I remember his reaction.
Well, it's like when you're a kid, you give them this thing, this awesome thing, and then they don't want to play the thing; they want to play with the box, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly the idea here. You never know what it's going to be. So the myth of quality time: just throw in the quantity, and quality will happen.
Being there though is such a huge part in just.
Presence.
What you do for the
Presence.
people, not even with just your kids, a family member that's
that
going
would
through
be
something.
that
you
would
just
be
go there and you're around them.
That would be the quantity. I think is what we're using in this metaphor, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're not there, you don't even get the quantity. So where are you going to find the quality?
That's right. And now if I want to talk to my teenage kids, I don't say, "Hey, let's you and me sit down for a coffee." No. We're going to get in the car and we're going to drive to Sonic and order hot dogs, and we're going to be sitting there laughing, eating a hot dog, and something comes out, a question comes out, a comment comes out, and all of a sudden you're just sitting there at Sonic having tater tots. But what's really happening is, you're actually making a connection. So
you're pulling a fast one on them,
bro. Yes, so
a fast food one.
Yeah, go. You want to go to Sonic? Is a great investment. Next, investment, training. I mean, energy, thought, money, experiences. Invest in your kids' time. I mean, and so much about investing in memories, and invest in memories. And again, that's the quantity time thing, and be willing to just to do it.
We just bought Halloween costumes to be a family
Yes.
Halloween theme. Amelia wanted to be a princess. I'm a king.
Yes.
My wife is a queen.
Yes.
We were talking, I'm like $180. And,
Yeah.
and Emery's like, we can always try to sell it after Halloween on
Yeah.
Marketplace. And I was just,
Pre-worn.
my first sentence was some things are worth spending money on.
Dude, see, that's it. That's
like,
it.
That's worth my $180.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Don't even cry, man. Just
I will
pay the
never
bill.
get rid of the Dr. Robotnik jacket that I got because it was the first Halloween where Harper was like able to like kind of
remember
look around and remember a little bit.
Yeah.
And she was Sonic. I will never. I killed that
See?
costume.
See?
Dude. It was perfect for a bald guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing though.
That
It was-
$40 worth lifetime
Oh,
memory. You
Yeah,
know, you-
I think it was more than that,
you
but
can't put a price tag on
can't.
that. Also security, and you mentioned it, just like saying, look, as a dad, you answer the door. You don't send your kid or your wife to go answer the door. Who knows? It might be the neighbor bringing you cookies, or it might be the neighbor yelling about your aunt, your pet. You never know. So
it drives me crazy when somebody knocks on the door and my kids sprint to the door.
Yeah.
Cannot stand it.
Yeah,
So
I see kids answer the door. I'm just like, what the hell's going on in this house?
Yeah, you should. I feel like as dads, we need to kind of take the lead to defend the castle, so to speak, and just even if it's symbolic, it's answering the mail, it's answering the phone, it's answering the door, it's just being the first line of defense, right?
Where I put my seat at the dinner table is closest to the door
That's
for
right.
that reason.
That's right.
And I joke with my wife, anybody comes through here, they got to get through me.
That's it.
Right.
And it may be symbolic at times, but that's an important symbol to say, I'm in the lead chair here, and I'm going to take the first hit, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I never intentionally do that, but it is like a subconscious thing because now that I think about it, anytime we ever sit at a restaurant, I'm always on the outside of the booth or anything.
Yeah.
It's like subconsciously, I'm like, I'm not sitting in there
Yeah.
because if something happens,
That's it.
I try to see where the food's coming out of the kitchen.
right.
I have to put myself where I can't see a TV because my ADHD kicks in. I'm just like lost. So, but investment security risk. I think our kids, man, I don't sue me, but I hate bike helmets, man. I'm just like, look, tell our kids to do hard things. Both of my boys have engine swapped their Miatas. And we would buy them the tools they needed to do it. Could they hurt themselves? Yes. And whatever. We created a hatchet throwing thing in our backyard. Just like learn to do hard things, risk things, do crazy things. Not everything should require knee pads and a mouth guard. Like, let's get out there and skin our knees.
I love that.
I'm all for that.
Be old school, man. Throw them in the back of the pickup and drive somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. They're not. If they learn to think that they are fragile and can't do anything without a full body armor, that's how they're gonna live.
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson, I saw a video of him saying, never intervene when your kids are doing dangerous things cautiously.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a limit to that, right? But
Yeah.
but
Darwinism.
it should be pretty far out there. Yeah. It should be pretty. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't meant to be.
yeah, totally. So that's important. Getting down to the last few number, I think encouragement is huge, and there's a surefire way to know if someone needs encouragement. They're breathing. Okay, that's how you know. Everybody needs encouragement, and kids need Harvard.
I'm like, what about their breathing do I pay attention to?
They are breathing.
It's when it's heavy.
Yeah. Actually, Harvard did a study of 1,000 companies, and they took the top 100 and said, well, like what makes these the top 10%, right? And they literally put it down to one factor, and it was the encouragement factor was 6-1 over like 6 encouraging comments to 1 critique. And the other companies went down from there to even actually flipping it, 6 critiques to 1 encouragement. They said, basically, if you want to be a top 10%er, you're going to have to fuel encouragement at a ratio of 6-1. So but what do our kids hear from us? Shut up, clean up your room, do your homework.
I'm a ratio of about 1 to 20.
1 to 20. Yeah.
We can get better at it. Though.
Yeah.
That's the point of the show.
Yeah.
So
So,
that's the whole point.
So just
I'm keeping a tally.
Encouragement like a part of the family culture to really to name things that you see that go well, and it might take some effort.
I do a list when I say goodnight to her, and I feel like you're a good person, like you're strong. Millie, you're such a cool kid. You're a good kid, and I always go, and you're a Yankees fan.
That's right. See, okay, yeah. See, and that honestly, kids can have the BS meter. They know when you're just kind of giving them but if you give them a specific thing, that is really like you're a Yankees fan, right? Your specific thing, or like, hey, I saw when you you took your plate to the sink today, or just specific things.
I do that. I do that for sure. Is I get like really, really hard on the kids about like, if you stack the dishes up or whatever, like, if you don't just put it in there while it's empty, like you make more work for everybody. So I'm pretty good about like giving them their flowers about that.
There you go. See,
because I like that they do that.
Yes.
I was me and my wife were both really proud of Amelia the first time she asked to come out of the bathtub because she had to use the bathroom.
Yeah, see, you celebrate the wins
instead of just sending
celebrate
a
the wins,
like,
man.
We were telling like you were such a big girl. Like that is such a big girl thing to do, Amelia.
Yeah,
like we kept telling her that.
And that's a specific encouragement, right? Like
she'll have this video forever on how much you peed in the bathtub.
Yeah, there was another sociologist that did a whole book on this thing, and actually, you don't even read the book. The title says it all. The title of the book was called "A Tribe Apart." A Tribe Apart, and it was about teenagers who had separated from their families. And you think going in, the Tribe Apart is these sort of like rebel teens. It's not. That she went and kind of tracked all their stories. The Tribe Apart was the parents that had not engaged with them. Okay, and so it's so important to speak down, and usually to be speaking something positive. If that's how you build those bridges.
Yeah.
And so traditions, rhythms, give them things that give them roots. We moved back to America. We were overseas 20 years. One of the reasons we moved back to America was that when you live overseas, oftentimes you're a guest in that culture. You're moving around a lot. You have a little permanence. We wanted to give our kids the gift of being from somewhere, and the gift of having roots, that they could say, I'm from this place, and that means I know these people, and this environment is familiar, and there's some security in that. So just traditions, things that are familiar that create rhythm in their lives are super helpful. Last thing, and that is kids need some freedom, some spontaneity, because we can get some lockdown on our traditions. Like, it's 9:30, your light should be out, but there's sometimes call an audible and say, it's 9:30, we're going to Sonic. Just pull an audible sometimes and throw in some spontaneity, and surprise is refreshing. Throw the curveball.
My wife sent me a video of a guy telling his son that he's going to cut school today and they're going to a Yankees game together. And this boy must have been 11 or 12.
Right.
And he was so excited. And then like first he's like, wait, really? Really? And then like he starts to get out of bed, and before he gets dressed, he has to sit down on the bed and just cry like tears of joy.
Yeah.
And,
That's it. Break the rhythm. Because I am in my ruts, man. I've got my ruts, and I can just do the same thing.
Yeah.
And it is so important, I think, for kids to know that dad sees me, cares for me, loves me, thinks about me, and wants to bless me and even spoil me kind of beyond the ruts, beyond the budget. There's times to stick to the budget, and then there's times to say, we're doing the costumes, right? Just some spontaneity is super helpful.
So the second to last was traditions, right?
Yes.
Do you have any traditions that you were excited to pass on and do with your kids?
Do you have a place y'all go on vacation?
No, but we're trying to start that. So I feel like we're in the stage right now where we're trying to create the traditions.
Yeah,
so like Christmas and stuff,
right,
like that's something that we're really adamant about doing. Especially with Harper being of age, and like she can look around and be excited about things now. We've always done the gifts and the items, but what you were talking about, we want the memories.
Yeah.
So like I feel like we're going to create our own tradition, because we really haven't had. I mean, we have like tradition about like going to my parents for certain holidays and things like that. But as far as like something that our family just is like a guarantee, aside from the 4th of July where we usually do something with her dad, we really don't have anything just for our family.
Right.
So.
We don't have lots and lots, and it doesn't have to be big things like we go to Disney every spring break. Yeah. It can be little things. It's like
pretty big.
One thing we do is we have we make our own homemade chicken nuggets every Christmas Eve. Like we have chicken.
I love that.
We're frying them in the pan. And every New Year's Eve, we have Mexican bar. Like we just make huge Mexican food and do that on New Year's Eve. Every leap year on February 29th, we have ice cream bar for dinner. So once every 4 years, right?
Oh, we do have one tradition.
See?
Lately, so for the last 4 years, I've hosted a big like Ohio State Michigan game because I'm an Ohio State fan. So we all get to share that tradition of sadness for the last 4 years.
Yes, the factory of sadness. Yes.
So
growing up, and I've always remembered this.
I don't think that's a tradition that they like. I don't think my kids are down for
A lot of families have traditions of sadness. But all right, so at any given time in my mother's house now, my house, there's always frozen homemade sauce.
Right.
Every Halloween after trick-or-treating, we would make pizza English muffins.
Yes.
And we've continued that with Amelia.
Right.
I've got the sauce in the fridge now.
Yeah.
And that is the one I can think of, at least, that I did with my parents, and I love that I'm doing it with my kids now.
Yeah, and I think even tradition is a big word. You think you have to kind of fill the big shoes to qualify for it, but it could be something as simple as the rhythm of making a daily coffee, right? These are rhythms, and
that's a tradition.
And just those things just create stability that are super helpful.
Amelia, I grind my beans, and Amelia, I always go, Amelia, can you help Daddy? And she comes over and she can reach the button now. And the last, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, she started treating it like, this guy.
What's up?
Marches over.
Much help.
This place would fall apart without me. I'm telling you. There's this whole body language to it.
Yes. But you're exactly right. Those things just create those, the sense of identity again, this rootedness. This is what we do. Whether it's have a daily coffee, or it's, go out on Halloween or whatever, it's what we do. And that's, they can
Pizza,
figure out
English
what they want to do that
muffins.
later down the road. Yeah.
After trick-or-treating's super simple.
Yeah. So I think, just keeping it simple and playing the long game and, traditions and rhythms, but also spontaneity. I mean, it's all good and it's all very messy, but
why'd you point at just me?
Yeah, it's all
a mess.
I am a mess.
You're a mess. He zeroed in on that immediately.
He's like, I caught the little clips of what you're talking about. You are screwed.
Aren't we all?
No,
we're all right in it together. So I totally feel your pain, man. I do. And
I love my life. I always talk about it on here. I sound negative sometimes, but I'm genuinely on here like asking questions because I want to do better, and I want there to, and it's been working because I don't feel nearly the rage that I once felt when we started this thing.
There you go.
I felt it was like every week. I was on
later.
here like cracking my neck before I sat down, ready to just tear into something.
We've said, so we started the grumpy old men tradition, which we're going to go into, but we are having trouble finding things to be grumpy
By
about.
episode 30, this segment's going to be called Happy Old Men.
Because every week we kind of vent.
Right.
And then it's like, how do we find something? Like I have to actively look, because if I don't, I'll be like, oh my God, nothing irritated me? That can't be.
Right. Well, I kind of had it out with my daughter recently over applying for a job, because she said, I said, hey, how's it going in the job search? Because every dad, you want your kid to have a job, and she's
pull their weight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, come on, this roof ain't paid for by nothing. So it's like, she says, well, I've got 11 applications out there and nobody's writing me back. And, I'm kind of old school. I'm not about people writing you back, right? I'm like, you go to them.
Yeah.
Like, you don't wait for them to call you. You call them. And she's like, oh, I can't go in there. I'm like, yeah, you can. You can go to the store and ask them, did you get my, and she's like, oh no, they don't do that. They tell you to do it online. I'm like, fine, you can do it online, but go follow up. And we kind of had this thing out. I'm like, I promise you, if you go there, they'll think you're awesome because you took some initiative. And she's like, they'll think I'm a freak. And I'm like, nah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying the generation gap.
That's the poison that our kids are eating these days.
Is this your grumpy old man, Adam?
Yes.
This is your grumpy old man.
Yes,
that's a good one though.
Yes.
Initiative killing.
Go to places. Go to and tell them, hey, I'm here. That's me. I'm awesome. When do I start?
Yeah, if you don't want to just be a number or a name on a piece of paper,
like,
you have to put a face.
They don't take you seriously
until
you take action.
Yep.
Online application does not count as action.
Any job I ever got back in the day is to go to the place.
Yep.
They want to see your face. They want to know who they're looking at.
Yep. See, I remember I got a job out in Texas after college. It was 6 weeks before I moved there. I walked in the door. They said, oh man, we already filled your slot. Sorry. So I went out, looked for a job, decided I was going to go back to that place. It's like a software firm, and just offer to work for free half the days, see if and then search the rest of the days. And I walked in the door. The guy who rejected me was standing right there talking to a guy. And I said, I'm here. I'd love to just volunteer to help the company, whatever I can do until I find a job. And the guy he was talking to said, what? And he said, come in my office. He was the CEO. He says, you're hired right now. And I told my daughter that story, and she goes, when was that, Dad? And I said,
yeah, it shouldn't matter when it was.
It didn't matter. I was like, it was 1993. Well, see, it's not. I was like, we are still humans.
Yeah.
Humans still appreciate initiative, but
So
couldn't sell it. Couldn't sell it.
If you get into this conversation again, say if you were hiring, what would impress you?
There you go. Put it on them.
Yeah.
Would you love to see 37 just pieces of PDFs?
Yeah.
Is that what's going to help you?
Yeah.
Like what would impress? What
Okay,
would work for you?
Okay.
I feel like at this point, kids are probably, or like high school kids are probably just sending like a meme of their resume at this point. Like nothing is serious. And like, well, they're not.
This is my
What
AI
font is
generated.
I don't know
like
why
they're
they
getting
didn't
hired.
hire me. I wrote it in Comic Sans.
That's the font.
That's the font.
I just realized I don't know the names.
That's
of
a
any
resume
fonts.
killer right there, dude.
I made it by ChatGPT, and that was awesome. So
I did mine in Old
Or
English.
Sanskrit is the other one. That's the one that every spa is. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah. See, I'm a child of the 70s, right? I grew up without the internet, so no hole in the back of my head. You know, born right here in the.
I feel like there was genuine fear of Y2K, and now I understand why. It's because the second that the 2000s hit,
man,
all like capability of making yourself something is just gone. Like the kids that are born after that, and I feel bad because some of my friends are younger than me, and they were born in the 2000s, and they're very smart, but they're the 1%ers.
Yeah. I want to tell them your digital footprint isn't real. Like you are real. You are real.
Yes.
So
Well, the good news is, if you raise a kid with just a little bit of hustle, he's going to take over the world.
yes,
100%.
exactly. Yes.
Or she.
So we are so set.
Yeah. That's it.
The people with any little fire at all are going to stand out.
Yeah.
Chris Frederick,
Yep.
21 years old. And that kid, I bet you he's going to be ready to retire by the time he's 30.
Yeah.
Alejandro too. He's young and he's got that. He stands out.
Chris said, are you to me last week, because you're going to be in the office. My mom got a gift for the baby to come. I go, how about just an instruction book? I want my kid to be like you.
Yeah.
Tell her that's what I want.
Yeah. That's great. You're right.
You want to get grumpy, or should I get grumpy?
You can get grumpy.
All right, my grumpy, and I'm gonna the cleanest language I can come up with is douchey sound systems in cars. Okay. I sent him a video. I was in the office on Saturday by myself. I mean, the ridiculousness of it. And how we doing?
Oh,
All
we're
right,
good.
all right. I can wrap this up in like 3 minutes. The ridiculousness of it coming in the office, rattling the windows of my office.
Oh yeah.
And then the best part was I was sitting there like this. Like I made a video of myself, which you'll put that in there now.
Yeah.
In which I dropped. I was like, "What the f?" Like,
I'll censor it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I drive with the doors off my Jeep most of the time.
uh-huh.
So these guys, I'm right here.
Oh yeah, you can't stop it.
Yeah. I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
You have no barrier.
But the guy who got out of the car was the best part. One, I'm looking around and I see him get out of the car, and we look at each other, and I could not help but laugh. He had like picture dressed like Justin Bieber, mid 2000s, pimply faced, maybe early 20s. It's hot. He's got a t-shirt on, but he's got like a wool hat like this with his bangs coming out of it like this.
Mm-hmm.
It was Chris?
So pasty. So he had a goatee that he was so pale that I could barely see the blonde goatee, but it was like a little, it was almost like he's growing a Hitler mustache over his chin.
So it was Chris?
Yeah.
Chris.
He's the
Chris
meme.
Frederick?
He's the meme of his meme.
We don't talk about
I'm
Chris.
just
He's the
kidding.
meme of his meme.
He's the
love
meme
Chris.
of his meme. That is the best way to put it.
The meme of his meme.
And then the car, which I sent you a video of.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna see it.
Yeah. A full tank of gas,
Very high
double the
quality.
value of the car.
There you go. Oh yeah.
To be
for
clear.
sure. Like, bro, what are you doing there? What are you doing there? Yeah.
He put that much money into speakers in a car that probably can't hit 45.
Well, I hope it doesn't hit him. Park it in the rain, because his speakers might be shot.
Oh man! Look for. I will make a point when we edit this video to send it to you directly so you can see. I did not get the kid on camera. That would have been too much.
Yeah.
But the car and like the music before I even saw the car, just the bewilderment of
Like what is happening?
this. Oh God. Anyway, that's
I'm proud of you,
man.
Yeah.
What?
You wanted to get into some deep language over that one.
Yeah,
and you refrained. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah. Well, you show a level of respect for people.
Yeah, like
Yes.
like hey, it's like he's hard boiling his brain.
Yeah.
Come on,
You're like
dude,
the second guest I've respected. Your dad and him. Everybody
else is just no respect.
man alive.
All right.
So my grumpy old man this week is probably, gosh, I'm telling you, I had one and it's just gone. I'm telling you that the more we do this, I'm just not angry.
Are you mad that you're not? Yeah.
I'm just
That's what I'm saying.
not.
Yeah.
Like I really,
You got to text him to me when it happens because
Yeah,
I did that. That's how I remember.
That's the thing
I texted
is
it
that
to you.
I would, but I really have like very minimal things. Like the most thing I can complain about right now is that I wanted to go get a new lawnmower because mine's messed up on Facebook Marketplace, and we already had plans and stuff, so I couldn't figure out a time to go get it. So I missed out on it. I like that's all I got.
But that's some like high level dad.
My daughter got
stuff like that.
baptized this week. Like I'm playing in the praise and worship band. Like I'm grateful.
All right, you get a pass. You get a pass.
I'm grateful for where I'm at. And I'm not like tooting my own horn here. It's just that's
It's a little
where
bit of
I'm
a
at.
humble brag, I think.
Yeah.
It's not even that. It's that it's a grateful brag.
Yeah.
If nothing else, like my kids are doing well in school. You know, they're going through what they're going through and they're growing. And I'm really proud that even if like JoJo's struggling, like she's growing. Like you can see it visually now. Like I'm just not grumpy about hardly anything, and it makes me mad. The computer.
All right.
Is that what you're going to tell me?
You're familiar with the humble brag, right? Like
Yes.
you're basically going, oh man, my life is so good. I have nothing to be angry about.
Correct.
But that's a humble brag.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for where I'm at. And truth be told, the only things that made me mad out of anything was trying to figure out that microphone last night.
Yeah. well, let's all be real for a second. All of our lives are so good. We have nothing to be grumpy about.
For sure.
Very, very
100%.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Theme
For
song.
sure.
Roll it.
Yeah. Really.
That's
Yeah. I mean, whatever little minutia are out there, annoying us. We, the princess and the pea. Like we have great marriages, we have great kids, we have great lives, we have a great God, a great future, and a great eternity. I mean, it's just like there's so much redemption there that it actually does sometimes outshine the darkness.
It's easy to dwell on the things that are going wrong, and it's a lot harder to just take a step back and take a deep breath and just say, I'm in a lot better position than I thought I was going to be at this time.
I mean, so the true goal of grumpy old men is to find the humor in things. We're not actually
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's working. It's a good therapy.
Yeah.
It's been a great therapy. I'm telling you, I'm the same
process.
way.
Yeah.
I actively look for it and I can't find it.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. It's a beautiful life, man.
Yeah.
It took 23 episodes, but I can't find it.
I got here just in time.
I enjoyed how douchey that guy looked.
Yeah.
I wasn't grumpy. I enjoyed every minute of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I feel like prior to doing this, prior to doing this, that would have been like enraging. And you wouldn't have been able
you
to
just gotta
find
shake your head and
humor.
smile, like, okay, fine.
I'm telling you, that's what
like,
happens
perfect.
now.
Hey there, little fella.
Perfect. That's exactly who had to come out of the car playing that music.
Yeah.
I just find it more funny now. Like somebody cuts me off or whatever, I just make a smart ass comment and then I just move on.
I tell them, hey, you just go have your moment, buddy. You just have your moment.
That's what I do. I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine. I wasn't here.
Yeah, you're good.
And then I roll on with my life.
I still haven't gotten over the two people driving 10 miles under the speed limit in both lanes on 501.
There you go.
There you go. My mom was laughing. She's like, "Oh my God, you're your dad's son."
Yes.
I was on the phone with her driving in today. Just I'm like, "Oh, is everybody gonna drive under the speed limit?"
There you go.
Like, do you have to be anywhere? Do you guys have to be anywhere?
Welcome to the South, Rand.
Yeah.
It does make me feel old, but I'm grateful that the one thing that will never ever stop making me mad is traffic.
Yeah.
For sure.
Always something there.
All right. This was a superb episode. Thank you.
Yes. I
Enjoyed
loved
you guys.
every second of it.
Yes.
Great meeting you.
Good.
That was great. Thank you so much for doing this.
You bet. Yeah, good times. A letter my son wrote me on his graduation, and I won't read the whole thing. A lot of it is private, but there's one segment that I think might be encouraging. And this is a couple of lines from it. He says, "Growing up, you were a father figure. You came to my soccer games, Boy Scout meetings, and Court of Honors. You took me to retreats, friends' houses, school events, and invested in my hobbies. I am a well-decorated Eagle Scout, a private pilot with concrete plans for professional piloting, a skilled soccer player, a faithful and repentant Christian. But I genuinely believe I would not be any of these without your influence, guidance, and mentoring. So I owe so much to you. Countless times I have failed and wanted to quit, but you were there, encouraging me and sometimes forcing me to continue because you saw the good in it. And he goes on. But I appreciated that he could see that and acknowledge that. And he says, he closes out with, you have reflected God's love for his people, and I'm proud when I'm recognized as your son.
That's awesome, man. And how old is he?
He was 18. Yeah.
And now we got this in the episode to kind of subtly play for our kids when they haven't.